There's this viral video going around of a woman who said that every time she takes a shower, she has to invite her husband to shower with her. So she set up her camera, she turned on the water, and I think it was 22 seconds later, he popped around the corner and was like, "What's going on?" Now, before I give my 2 cents, here's what we're not gonna do. All throughout the comment section, there were women like, "Well, I understand if you want to take a shower together, and there's nothing wrong with taking a shower together, but there's nothing wrong with this," but that's beside the point. Because everybody's boundaries and rules for their relationship are going to be totally different. So it doesn't matter what you think is okay and what's not okay. That's what we're not going to talk about right now. So as expected, she made another follow-up video kind of being sarcastic, like, "Oh, I'm in danger," because everybody was telling her, "Hey, that's weird, that's controlling." And we know in these situations from past experience that they don't listen. They either don't see it or they're in denial. But I'm going to share my personal story with situations like this in hopes of helping somebody who wants the help, because you can't save everybody. One of the ways that abusers gain control over you is by trying to normalize control and abuse. Even in society, in a lot of ways, we've normalized control and abuse. Like if you're out with your friends and your boyfriend is calling you every 2 minutes asking what you're doing and who you're talking to, a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's cute, he's so jealous over you," when it's just control. So back when I was with my abusive ex-husband, he would touch me in very odd, inappropriate ways. And then if I got upset, he would be like, "Well, you're my wife, I could touch you however I want to touch you." And at the time I was young and I was super religious. I was a Christian at the time. So I would just kind of give up and be like, "Yeah, he's right, because you're not supposed to turn down your husband. My body belongs to him, blah, blah, blah. This isn't a discussion about whether it's right or wrong. I already know that it was wrong." And he would, I don't even want to give details, but he would touch me in the most dehumanizing ways. And if I ever gave him a problem, it was like I said. And that was his way of normalizing it. In that case, it was, "You're my wife." And me not knowing any better, because I was 20, I think I was 21. Anyway, I thought, yeah, he's right. This is what husbands and wives are supposed to do. You're supposed to let your husband do whatever he wants to, or else he's going to go on to do it to somebody else or whatever. But the whole point in situations like this is you do whatever you want to do. And if they have a problem with it, you make it seem like they're the one who's crazy. Like there was a woman who came on here and said that much like the woman that I talked about at the beginning, her husband would do the same thing. And then when she would be like, "Oh no, I just want a couple minutes to myself, I'm not really feeling it today," he would frame it as, "Oh, well, you're just insecure. I don't know why you're so insecure. I want to see your body. That's okay. I don't mind how you look. You're just being insecure." So you see where I'm going with this. And the whole point is to take away any boundaries you have, any bodily autonomy that you have, and make it be your problem if you have an issue with it. And I just want to make this clear for any young women or women, period, who your husband is touching you or coming in the bathroom when you're doing something that's just, you're not feeling it, you don't want it, you don't like it, it just feels off. You're right. You're right. If you don't want to do it and he does it anyway, he is wrong. That is inappropriate. You have a right to want time to yourself. You have a right to not want to be touched or not want to be bothered in a certain moment because whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to explain it. It is not okay if after you say, "I don't want to do that, I don't like it," he does it anyway. That is control. He is trying to get your defenses down. He's trying to take away your bodily autonomy to gain control over you. So if it doesn't feel right, it isn't. And this is for people who actually want it. Some of you might not want to hear it yet. Some of you might want to hear it now. but it's time to leave and to make that safe plan to get out of that situation, because it's going to get worse. I have heard women say that they were just flat out raped. You gotta censor yourself on this app, by their partners. And that is a thing. I just want to make that clear. And side note, I learned about marital rape from my mom from an episode of Young and the Restless several years ago when I was a kid. And there was a couple on the show, and she was taking her husband to court because he took advantage of her in that way. And I remember asking my mom, well, that's her husband. I don't understand. And she said, your husband can you. That's a thing. And I never forgot that. So with that being said, if you have children, it's important to have these discussions with your children so that they know. And even though I knew it, and because at the time I loved my ex-husband and I was super religious and I thought God wanted you and your husband to, belong to each other and you can't turn them down, I went along with whatever he wanted to do. And another way they try to gain control over you is if you ever want to, have some spicy time, they'll turn you down. And that's the end of it. But if you ever turn them down, then all of a sudden it's, oh, okay, so you never want to do anything with me. Well, that's not good. We're acting like we're roommates. Now they turn it into this whole big thing. So they can have boundaries, which is fine. Everybody's allowed to have boundaries, but you can't. You're not allowed to have those boundaries. You are supposed to be able to feel at home and safe in your relationship. You shouldn't have to dread taking a shower because you know that your partner's going to come in there with you or sit there and stare at you or whatever when you don't want him to. You shouldn't have to feel odd going to bed because you know they're going to try to pressure you to do things with them that you just don't want to do. You shouldn't feel odd and scared to get dressed in front of them or to not want them to see your body because you know they're going to be inappropriate or pressure you or just do something weird to you. That is not okay. You should feel safe. You should feel supported. So if you're out there and you're wondering, is this odd? Am I wrong for feeling? No, you're not wrong. Yes, it is odd. It is not okay. And you have every right to feel how you feel. And it's time to get together that safe plan to exit that situation because it's going to get worse.